What's up, YouTube? My name is Will. I'm a NASM certified personal trainer and I love helping people lose fat and I love helping people build strength. Today, I wanted to make this video and talk about calories in, calories out, its role in fat loss, and everything that you need to know about fat loss as far as calories go. Now, first thing is, for fat loss, you need one thing, a caloric deficit. That is it. Caloric deficit, that's it. You lost fat. Congratulations, video over. Just kidding. So, what a lot of people think is that healthy eating somehow makes you lose fat, or eating certain foods makes you fat. Eating foods with high fat make you fat. They don't. What makes you fat is eating a caloric surplus. If you eat 3,000 calories of spinach, which is a lot of spinach, by the way, you will gain fat if your maintenance calories is below 3,000. If your maintenance calories is at 2,000 and you're eating 3,000 calories of spinach, you will get fat. Think about that. If you eat 3,000 calories of anything on the freaking planet and it's above your maintenance, you will gain fat. Even if you're strength training, even if you're training in the gym, a 1,000 calorie surplus, no matter what, will get you fat. You can have the best genetics in the world, 1,000 calorie surplus, you will gain fat. No matter who you are, you're gonna gain fat. Okay. So what matters here is the calories you eat in the day. Okay. If you eat 1,500 calories of pure French fries in the day, all you ate was French fries, and your maintenance is above that. Your maintenance, let's say 2,000 calories a day. That's your maintenance for maintaining, losing no weight, gaining no weight. You're gonna lose fat, and you will lose, in fact, 1 pound a week of fat eating only French fries. Now, if you're a strength trained individual or you're a resistance trained individual, you will also lose muscle because there's very, very little protein content in French fries. Little nuances like that that don't matter when you get down to the nitty gritty. That calorie deficit is all that matters. That's it. If you think anything else matters in weight loss, then you have no idea what you're talking about. Now, in fat loss, other stuff does matter. There's the ability to sustain a diet for a long time. There's satiety in your foods. There's the nuance of whether you're a resistance trained individual. Okay, the first thing I want to go in is that if you are a resistance trained individual, that means that even if you trained terribly or you trained like an absolute idiot, you have gained some muscle, and you're going to need to eat foods with protein in it in order to maintain that muscle as you lose weight and as you lose fat. Okay, now if you're not a resistance trained individual, as in you don't lift, you don't work out, you don't care about the muscle in your body, feel free to eat 1,500 calories of French fries if it puts you in a calorie deficit. But most people are going to have the best time losing fat if they're building muscle, because here's the thing, having more muscle on your body increases your metabolism and makes it faster. So let's say that your normal maintenance as an untrained individual is 2,000 calories. If you add 10 pounds of muscle to your frame, that might increase it by as much as 500 calories. So then, in order to eat a 500 calorie deficit, aka losing 1 pound of fat a week, you can eat up to 2,000 calories instead of eating 1,500 calories, which makes a huge difference in terms of long-term adherence to the diet, satisfaction during the diet, everything like that. Okay, but at the end of the day, it is calories in versus calories out. You need a caloric deficit to lose fat. Okay, so here's the thing about healthy eating. So although healthy eating does not have an immediate effect on whether you're going to lose fat or whether you're going to lose weight and enter a caloric deficit, there is definitely some huge benefits of eating healthy. So if you're eating, let's say, a whole pound of spinach, that is going to be far less calories than a whole pound of French fries. Now, one is going to be definitely healthier. The spinach is definitely healthier. Okay. Now, what that's going to do is you're going to have a pound of vegetables in your stomach. You're going to feel full and you're going to feel, oh my God, I am not going to have huge cravings. And your calorie total for the day is going to go down, provided you ate the spinach instead of the fries as your last meal, if you were to pick one of those two. What healthy eating will do for you is that you will feel better, you'll feel fuller throughout the day, you have less cravings throughout the day, because that's the number one factor in why people mess up fat loss phases or fat loss diets over a long period of time, is that they're like, oh, I can't take this food anymore. Or I'm just so hungry all the time. I'm just going to binge at night. I'm going to wake up at midnight and have like a bunch of snacks or something, or I'm going to have a very late night, ton of food out of nowhere. Cravings are huge. I can't go to sleep. I'm too hungry. That's what will happen to people because they're eating the wrong foods. Now, if your metabolism is fast enough, like me, for example, to gain half a pound a week in a lean bulk, I was eating 4,200 calories a day. Okay, and that adds up to a 250 surplus for me. So that means my maintenance was at 3,950. Now, if I were to do a prolonged fat loss phase, which I just got out of an 8-week fat loss phase, I dropped my calories as low as 2,800. Okay, now 2,800 for the average person is going to be a lot of calories, especially my clients. If you're an older female client, I tend to see their maintenance calories be between 1,000 and 1,500, which is extremely low compared to like a resistance trained male or even a young resistance trained woman, anything like that. Okay. I can eat a lot of unhealthy food and be completely fine and lose a lot of fat because my BMR, my basal metabolic rate, and my total daily energy expenditure is very high. Okay, now if you're a normal person, most of the clients I see, their maintenance calories between 1,000 and 1,500, like I just said. Okay, you can't eat a diet like me. Now, personally, I don't enjoy eating that much food. I hate eating that much food. I have find the most enjoyment out of between 3,000 and 3,500 a day, and I'd love to continually just eat that much, but I can't. If I want to gain weight, I got to eat more than that. It's okay. I can do it. But anyway, healthy eating will help you. Okay, if you eat things like spinach, if you eat things in high in fiber like blackberries, a lot of fruits are high in fiber. I would not eat a lot of red meat. I would not eat eggs. Eggs are actually not the best protein source you can find. There's a ton better out there that are healthier for your heart. The high saturated fat and the high cholesterol is not going to be good for you. It's going to be bad for your heart. Eating foods like cookies, peanut butter, ice cream, whole milk, anything chocolate related really are not going to be the best options for you. Now, although you can always fit in an unhealthy food because when it comes to dieting and fat loss, it's calories in versus calories out. And if you've eaten enough good stuff during the day, have yourself a snack at night. It'll be completely fine. All of my clients do it. I tell them, like, please eat something fun at night. Eat a chocolate bar. I always look at my clients' foods whenever I'm doing a session with them. Maybe it's they're doing once a week with me. At the end, I'll check their foods and like, oh, you eat a snack. Oh, they're in the calorie deficit still, so I really don't care at all. And if that helps them sustain with the diet, that's what they need to do. So the thing is, if you eat a bunch of clean food and then some unhealthy food, you're not completely screwed. In fact, if you stay in the deficit, you are still going to lose fat at the same rate had you eaten some spinach instead of a chocolate bar at the end of the night. As long as you're in the same deficit, you will lose the same fat provided you've eaten enough of the good stuff earlier in the day. What a realistic fat loss diet looks like for most people, because as I said, they have very slow metabolisms, way slower than you think, at least when they go into the 30s and up, I'd say, is eating good healthy food and then maybe towards the end of the night or maybe later in the day, having a nice snack like a chocolate bar. Smart Pop popcorn, Skinny Pop popcorn, although Greg Doucette for some reason hates Skinny Pop popcorn. I have no idea why. The nutrition label tells you how much is in it. It's about, if I remember correctly, 100 and 150 a bag between calories. Calories in the bag, 100 to 150 in the bag. I don't see the big problem with that, although he hates it. I think he's just going against the mainstream for some reason. But yes, that is an insanely good snack. Blackberries, strawberries, mangoes are very, very tasty fruit, although they're not the best for dieting. If you want a good snack at the end of the night or something, instead of like, you're like, oh, I don't even like chocolate bars. Why is Will telling me to eat them? Okay, you have a mango or something like that. Okay, that's going to be great. Yeah, as far as that goes, that is the role of healthy eating. If you want to have a long-term sustainable fat loss phase, you're going to have to eat some healthy food. Okay, but let's say if you're like me and after 8 weeks your calories are only down at 2,800, or you're someone where your metabolism barely has to even fall during an entire fat loss phase, you don't really have to worry about eating healthy food. The only healthy food I really eat is white rice, jasmine rice, oats. I don't even know if I would count peanut butter as a completely healthy food. I drink a lot of whole milk. Actually like I said before, I don't enjoy eating all the food I do. I just have to force it down because I have to gain weight and I have to do what I got to do. Now, last thing I want to talk about here is myths surrounding fat loss diets and myths surrounding fat loss phases, okay? The biggest one I've already talked about in this video is that for some reason, people think healthy eating somehow makes you lose more fat than unhealthy eating, provided the caloric deficit's the same. If you are eating a 500 deficit of healthy foods and you eat a 500 deficit of unhealthy foods, guess what? You're going to lose weight and fat at the same exact rate, provided a few other factors, but you get what I'm saying. You can't eat in a deficit and gain weight if you're eating healthy food. That's physically impossible. That's law of thermodynamics. You cannot do that. If you're eating unhealthy food and you're in a deficit, you will lose weight and you will lose fat. Non-negotiable, period. That's it. Okay, another one I want to talk about is that sugar is bad and will stop your fat loss. People think that insulin spikes in food post-eating will cause you to store fat more so than at other times. Completely ridiculous. If you're in a caloric deficit and you eat a bunch of sugar, you're going to lose weight. If you're in a 500 deficit and you eat a ton of sugar and you have a ton of insulin spikes, guess what? You're going to lose a pound of fat a week. If you're in a 500 deficit and you eat zero sugar, you're going to lose a pound of fat a week. That's it. Non-negotiable. Eating sugar is not bad for you, and eating sugar is not going to sabotage your fat loss phase, okay? So, third thing I want to talk about is meal timing. Okay. Although meal timing does affect weigh-ins, it does not affect fat loss. Okay. If you eat only at the night or you eat only in the morning, if you're in the same deficit as you were, you're going to lose the amount of fat provided the deficit you're in. If you're at a 5-hour deficit and you eat all your food at midnight, you're going to lose a pound of fat a week. If you're in a 5-hour deficit, you eat all your food in the morning, you're going to lose a pound of fat a week. If you're at a 5-hour deficit and you eat throughout the day balanced, which you should, which is recommended for cravings and everything, you're going to lose a pound of fat a week. That's all that matters. Meal timing doesn't matter. It will affect weigh-ins. If you eat everything at midnight and you want a good weigh-in the next day, you're not going to get a good weigh-in the next day. You're going to have a higher weigh-in because your body's going to have a bunch of food still in it. You need to pee and you need to crap the food out and you need to burp and you need to fart and everything. It's going to still be in there. Also, provided you're eating carbohydrates, as most people are, which you definitely should, your body's going to be storing water in your body too. So the weigh-in is just going to be terrible. But the weigh-in doesn't necessarily mean that you haven't lost any fat. Okay, the weigh-ins over time is what matters. Okay, meal timing doesn't matter. Healthy food doesn't necessarily matter. Calorie deficit is it. Sugar's not bad for you. Insulin spikes don't make you store more fat if you're still in a deficit. You need a deficit. That's it. All right, guys. See you later.